The WeeTea company thank you for taking part in this tea training programme, aptly called Teatorials. We will look at everything from what tea is and how it's produced to how to make a great brew in your very own kitchen or the kitchen where you work. Along the way, we hope to expand your tea horizons and ask you to question if tea is something we've been taking for granted for too long. The huge changes in the coffee industry encourage the tea drinker to ask the question, what about me? So grab a brew, get comfy and join in the Scottish tea revolution. What is it about tea that captures the hearts and minds of people all over the world? Where does our national obsession come from? How do we fairly pay homage to a drink that is consumed 165 million times every day in the UK alone? Perhaps it's because tea is about culture. It's about social interaction, a time to share stories and experiences, a chance to recover and recharge, a moment of personal solitude. Perhaps it's even just a habit for some, helping us get through our busy lives. Where did it all begin? One of the most popular myths dates back almost 5,000 years. The Chinese Emperor Shennong was sitting under a tree enjoying some boiled water when some leaves fell from the nearby tree into the cup and infused, creating a refreshing and revitalising brew. Although tea has been enjoyed in parts of Asia for thousands of years, it was not until the mid-1600s that tea started to arrive in Britain. Initially, the drink was enjoyed by the aristocracy, but by 1750, tea was largely regarded as a national drink. As trade with China became increasingly difficult, the British looked to grow and harvest tea in other parts of the world, in particular India and Sri Lanka. This tea grown in the British colonies allowed the British tea industry to boom. No matter where the obsession roots come from, the one thing is for sure. For most of us, tea arouses passion. Flavours we like or don't like, brands we love or hate, the way it's made, the way it should never be drunk, the warmth of your hand as you grip your mug in a moment of despair or joy. Tea stories shared with us over the years leave little doubt that we all have anchors to our past associated with tea that have defined our habits of today and the future. Tea ceremonies held in kitchens in Scotland have all the intricacies of tea ceremonies held in Japan. Culturally and geographically, they may well be worlds apart. The common bond, though, is that wonderful little leaf. And since its creation in China some 5,000 years ago, there is little doubt that tea has made quite an impact the world over. Despite the fact so many of us have these strong memories and bonds linked to tea, is it the case that our respect and knowledge of our national drink has been lost slightly over a generation or two? It is thought that 96% of all tea brewed in Britain is from tea bags. Perhaps we are also less aware of where the tea we are drinking actually comes from. If so, the good news is that attitudes are changing. Our palates are developed, our sense of quality has changed, and our quest to find affordable luxuries has led us to the point where we all want something a little better. Make no mistake, there is a time and place for convenience, and that in itself ought to be remembered. However, our friend the coffee bean has been very kind to us tea drinkers. It has paved the way for an increase in quality, variety, and attention to detail. Anything less than freshly ground beans, espresso-based drinks, and well-steamed milk is simply no longer acceptable in our cafe culture. Businesses invest thousands of pounds in machinery and training to make sure the coffee drinker is not disappointed. Why? Because it's now an industry standard. Customers expect no less. If we can find the time to make great coffee and sometimes even draw a picture in the froth, can we find the time to measure out some loose leaf tea and deliver a quality pot to our customers? We certainly hope so. As we pave the way for forthcoming tutorials, this first session is simply about setting the scene for what is to follow and to raise the questions in our mind that will allow us to invest a little more time and attention in our quest to brew great tea for ourselves and our customers. People want quality products and great service more than ever, and generally they don't mind paying that little bit extra if it's worth it. So the next time you make a brew, think on the importance it may hold for you or your customer. Is this person just thirsty? Or is there something else going on? How will their enjoyment of your creation impact their day? Are you or your customer going to be wowed by your experience? What can you do to make you or your customer's tea drinking experience just right? Next week we will consider what tea actually is. See you there.